Hi everybody and welcome to Money Man. I've got Money Boy with me in our continued series. How was last week, Ollie?
A little bit up and down. The two bets that I thought were not necessarily, there's never like a guaranteed bet, but the ones that I was really certain about were Italy. I didn't think that Wales would beat them by over 25.5, so I just got Italy to cover the handicap, put 400 rand down on that, and they obviously got pummeled. And then I was really certain that the Bulls were going to win. I put $500 down on the Bulls to win. You warned me against it.
Yeah, I did friendly warning. I'd give you a friendly warning, and your dad.
Yeah, you also told me at the end of last year though to not really follow your advice in the beginning.
Yeah,
of
course. No, of course. But now you're accountable.
Yeah, no, I am. We've got my tracker set up and everything.
What's that account sitting at?
Sitting at minus 14 for the weekend, and this is
14 rand.
Minus 14 rand. Yeah, this is the disappointing thing. So I put down 900 rand, obviously between two games that I was quite sure of, and lost that. But then
you did call the Sunwolves.
I called the Sunwolves. Yeah, 1-6. So got back 626 rand, I think, on my $100 there. And then called the Stormers game. I think we all called the Stormers game. To comfortably beat the Hurricanes. They had a good return of around 1.7.5, 1.8. So I made some cash on that as well. Ended at minus 14. So it's a bit of a weird one because the two that I thought were, the Stormers was pretty sure, wasn't too sure about the Sunwolves, and then that paid off quite well. But then the two that I thought would pay off pretty easily didn't. Yeah,
so you're treading water. You're not losing lots of money, and you're still experimenting. So that's not too bad.
You have said as well that it's the experimental. Like you're not putting any bets down, I believe.
Well, this weekend, the reality is it's very tough because you've got 6 games with handicaps of around six or less. You wanted the Bulls versus the Stormers, which on paper should be a pretty easy win for the Stormers. Still could cause a surprise. So for me, I'm not going to be betting or giving any advice for anybody to bet on any of the games this week. What I will do is I'll be doing a lot of in-running bets. I've moved I haven't moved. I've opened up an account with Sporting Bet, and I'm experimenting on that side. I'm enjoying it. I'm just trying to come to terms with all the features and the site, and that's going to take me a week or two. So I'm going to take it easy this week because to me, if you get 6 out of 6 on Super Brew, 6 out of 7 this week on Super Brew, you'll probably go to the top of your pool. It's a tough week. Yeah. So I've always said that the bets you don't make, you don't lose money, and therefore you have it. Yeah. You'd be up if you didn't make those 2 bets, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Yeah. Be up by quite a bit. So.
Yeah, by quite a bit. So I don't go chasing and I don't look for bets. When I look at something like this sheet of paper here with all the handicaps on it, I go, is there anything that stands out for me? Probably if I had to say something stands out, Brumbies versus Rebels. The Rebels were so bad, and the Brumbies at home should be able to beat them by more than 6.5, but I'll wait. I'll do a bit more reading, and I will be putting up on Facebook my bets for the weekend and offering in-trading advice as well. So when I do in-trading betting, I'll also post what I'm doing there as well. Yeah. So it's not going to be a boring weekend for me because look, anytime you watch a game and get information is great. Exactly. So let's get into what you're going to do this weekend and your Super Brew picks.
Just in terms of what I'm betting on first, I think agree with you in terms of Brumbies Rebels being one of the only ones that they could actually value it, and I really do think the Brumbies will put them away by more than 6.5. I think by at least 10. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna bet on the Brumbies there, and then I think Jaguars Hurricanes as well. I think they should pump them at home. They've got
it's just hard to get your mouth around that concept that the Hurricanes are going to get pumped anywhere. Yeah. But maybe there's a bit.
There's nothing going on in that pack. I think the Lions pack is stronger than the Hurricanes pack, and we saw the Lions result against Jaguars. So I think I'm putting 13 points to the Jaguars.
Okay, so let's go down the list. Highlanders Sharks. Any value for you there?
I'm going to tip the Sharks at 6 points. Yeah,
so plus 7.5.
Plus 7.5, but I'm not going to be betting on the game. I just think in terms of Super Brew, Sharks by 6.
Brumbies Rebels, you're going to take a punt on the Brumbies? Chiefs Crusaders, that's an interesting one, eh?
I wanted to go with the Crusaders because I think they're just always, they're consistently good. But as you guys mentioned in the previous video, David Havili playing at 10, Richie Monga's out, and then the Chiefs have Aaron Cruden at 10, Leonard Brown at 12, and Damian McKenzie fit again. and they're at home. So I think it'll go to the Chiefs. I think it'll be fairly high scoring but tight. I reckon like a 6-point game, go the way of the Chiefs, but like a 35-29 kind of game.
Yeah. Look, and then maybe over the next couple of days I fall in love with one of these bets. But I still think that I do think the Chiefs are gonna win a close game, but haven't put any money down on it yet.
Do you think it'll be high scoring or low?
I don't know what the weather's going to do, so I don't think so. I think we're not going to see a lot of high-scoring Super Rugby games this year.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the same as it was in previous years.
Why is that?
Well, there's a lot of dilution. There's a lot of parity in the league now with a mass exodus of New Zealand players, a mass exodus of South African players. So when pools lose, when leagues lose a lot of players, you then stuff with a lot of average players. And so then it creates that parity where the games are usually closer, and with a lot of the new coaches in Super Rugby, a lot of new players, learning systems and all that. It usually takes a little while for people to click into systems and learn the offense, learn the defense, and the plays. So I'm not expecting massive scores. And this weekend I think proved it. It wasn't big scores.
Yeah.
Unless you were Lions defense giving up 38. That was pretty big.
Not according to James.
No, not according to James. Warthogs versus Blues.
The handicaps and the winning margins have been suspended on WSB. So I was obviously not the only one that couldn't really think of a score either way. I really don't know. I think the Blues have lost Rico Iani, which is a big one. He scored 2 of their tries last week. You know. So Waratahs at home, maybe Waratahs by 3 or 6.
Yeah, it's
not a great game, I don't think.
No, it'll be interesting to see the final result. Lions Reds.
Lions. I don't think the Reds. I don't think the Reds are particularly good, and I think I do agree with James to an extent in what he said about there was certain promising elements to the Lions game. They got put away by a good Jaguars side at home, you know. But I just don't think the Australian pack will do much to the Lions pack, and I think at home at Ellis Park they should beat them, not necessarily comfortably, but at least by 5 or 6 points. Okay.
Stormers Bulls.
For me, not as much of a blowout as everyone says it's going to be. I think having lost Siakalisi and then what's his name, Bongi as well, isn't playing. I think that'll be because their second rate hooker isn't. Skara will be coming in to start, but then who goes into the bench for him, and Bongi was huge. I think the Bulls pack was good against the Sharks for a lot of the match.
And they were physical and imposing. Eh?
Yeah, and it laid a platform for Morné Steyn to really dictate the game for the first 40 minutes. So I think the Bulls' shortcomings that they don't really have a centre pairing, and I think the Stormers have a very good attack. Jamie Roberts at 12 now, Damon Willems, Herschel Giantjes, they've got a nice sort of mix in the midfield, kind of attacking area there. So I think the Stormers will still win, but by 8 points, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Jaguars, you believe, are going to pound the Hurricanes?
Yeah, at least by 13.
Wow. Okay. So, only one bet this weekend, or?
I'm gonna go 2. I think I'm gonna bet on Brumbies Rebels as well as the Jaguars.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I had a perfect weekend last week. I went, I think, 4 or 5 for 5, including tennis and including whatever else I bet on.
You had a better weekend than me.
Well, you are much younger than me. You probably had a better weekend with the ladies than I did. I would imagine. Anyway, Ollie, thanks. It's going to be a tough week. Guys, don't go chasing rainbows out there. If you lose your bet, decide on your bets. Don't go chasing them if you lose them. Yeah? And don't go wishing that you'd won more or bet more on the ones that you do win. Try and be happy. Thanks, Ollie. Thanks, man.